Hand loaders, bullet casters, welcome back to my bench. Hey, some of you guys have really kind of spawned off some topics for me lately, and that's one of the things I really love about my subscribers here is they're thought-provoking. They hold people accountable to higher standards, and when they see something that they think could be expanded on, they speak up. And sometimes that leads to some pretty cool topics. I specifically want to kind of do a shout out or VR to John H. 4957 and JH 5869. So last couple of videos I did, we discussed sizing dies and loading for one particular revolver versus another, and how one sizing die from one brand could be a little bit on the tighter side than a sizing die from another brand. So those little differences, they creep up sometimes, and it's really cool if we can kind of document that and make some notes on it, because that can help us with some loading projects in the future. What I have here right now is the RCBS Cowboy Die set. I've got actually 5 semi wad cutters. They're about 250 grain, I believe. Look at that, dude. These are homemade, made them myself, cast them myself. They come from an Arsenal 503 mold, and they're traditionally lubed. And this is a 5-round revolver, so it's kind of perfect. And I've got the Charter Arms Bulldog right here, and I won't be doing any full complete loading or shooting in this particular video, but I am going to hand load some 44 special rounds, but just to make sure that I keep everything kind of within the sensibilities of the YouTube business, I'm going to be careful about how I do that. So one thing y'all have caused me to do is take out this Lyman 45 out of mothballs and bolt it back to my table. That's cool. The old Lyman needs to get a workout every once in a while. So I mentioned that these bullets were cast for my Ruger with the larger throats, that's being a .432 diameter bullet. For this Bulldog, I really just want 430. And I thought I had a push-through sizing die from Lee, but I did not in a 430. So I've got to set this guy up in order to size these bullets. I'm going to try to capture some good photography here. There's the bullet going right there into the die. It's a tight fit now. I mean, we're basically removing 0.02 of an inch of its diameter. So, yeah, you can see the shininess. Okay, so here's another perspective. This is kind of down looking up. See that bolt right there? That's the top punch. And I'm just using it because it's flat. A lot of top punches are made so that they fit the profile of the bullet. But since this is a flat point, I found that a bolt works pretty good too. Let's see what we got here, guys. Did this give us a .430? There we go. A little too much light. Folks, I'll say that's a pretty clean 430. Our Lyman sizing system did a really good job. So if y'all remember from my previous video, that was the die, the sizing die from the Cowboy set. This is going to be the little expander from the Cowboy set. And you know, I guess I haven't owned enough RCBS dies to know the real differences. So some of you guys out there who pointed out that there are some differences, I might have misspoke, but I do believe that it's pretty similar. So we're going to go ahead and do what we can to get these cases expanded. I'd say that's expanded just about right with the little Cowboy die. Seats in there just fine, just perfect. It just kind of cups it. One thing I like about the Cowboy die, and a lot of other die sets are like this too, is I've got a flat punch, which is great on these flat tips. You know, because you'll use this type of profile with a flat tip, whether it's a semi-wad cutter or a round nose flat point with lever action rifles and a lot of old school cowboy style guns. There is a great feature of this die, and the Lee has it too, and that's the ability to seat and crimp in one step. There's a lot of anxieties and fears over that. One of these days I'd like to address that. In the meantime, keep it simple. We're just going to do separate. So there we go. It is seated. Good thing to note is it's, you know, the case is expanded enough that we don't have any lube or lead shaved off. Pretty good little gauge of how to do it, but of course you don't want to expand it too much either, because then you're just going to wear out and bulge up your brass. So this has been kind of a fun, casual video to do, just kind of hanging out, loading up some 44. I used one die set for this, and it was my Cowboy die set. Very simple. When I go to do my GP100, you're going to see a whole bunch of dies and things come from different areas, from different brands, and you'll be like, good grief, LeadSmith. Hey, you made this awfully complicated. But it'll make sense. So in the meantime, until then, LeadSmith out.